centre. Basket can't defend. He's got the outside line for the second part, and he can't hold on.
Going the long way around. We're going to be 3 wide for the lead as they all come to the line. Who is going to take it in the end?
And here comes Lockwood. He's going to make the move to the outside. Quinn tries to force him off a little bit, but there he goes. It's going to be side by side through turn 1.
Will he be able to cover him off? He does. Weaving back to the left-hand side. Reynolds is trying everything. The kitchen sink is being thrown at it.
They're leaning on each other. Coming into turn number 3. It's going to be a drag race through 3 and 4. Coming back to the line. Here comes Frisch on the bottom.
Bouchard's going to hold the inside. Tries to be the late breaker here. They're going to be side by side through the final chicane. They bang doors, but keep it clean.
As they're still 4 wide on the run down into the back straightaway. Demerit's looking for a line as well. What is going on in Michigan?
Novak into the fence. They're still beating and banging. And to the line.
He is much faster coming through there. Is there damage on Challenger? Abramitis is ahead. It's going to be a race to the line. Who is going to get it?
Welcome back, race fans specifically of the Production Car Challenge. This is week 9 of the SOF races. Brings us to TSKUBA Raceway in Japan, the heart of Japan. Our drivers currently on track, getting in some qualifying laps, but could be interesting here. I watched the race just beforehand, the first race of the week changeover, and they had some rain. Some rain in the forecast here, but the track is dry currently. They had a soaking wet track for the race earlier, so it'll be interesting to see if the rain starts to play a factor here as qualifying proceeds and we get into the race itself. But as I mentioned, our drivers out on track putting in some times. As we go on board here with Blake Bottom, starting to see some rain falling out there, a couple raindrops dropping here and there, so it's going to start to play a role into their qualifying laps. No doubt our drivers went out on dry tires here for qualifying as the track was still dry, but your usual 25-minute race coming in our way here. If you're unfamiliar with TSKUBA Raceway, it's one of the included content tracks. It comes with iRacing, so no doubt it provides a ton of entries. I believe last check just before we went live, somewhere in the neighborhood of 245 entries here for this session of the Production Car Challenge, this split. So plenty of drivers registering, plenty of competition. I think we have it was just under 3,000 was the SOF across all 4 classes for the race here. So it's going to be a barn burner out here this evening with all these classes intermingling on the short track, which is TSKUBA Circuit. So just outside of Tokyo, Japan is where you'll find TSKUBA, nestled in Shimotsuma area of Ibaraka. It's 60 kilometers north of Tokyo. Circuit 2000 is a legendary motorsport venue that packs in adrenaline in every meter. It may be small at just over 2 kilometers, 1.27 miles, but it has 12 turns that are going to challenge our drivers, especially with having 4 different classes of drivers on track here. So it's going to be interesting, especially if the rain really starts to come down. It was pouring pretty heavy in the race before, and there was a number of cars that were having a tough time on track. So it'll be interesting to see once we get some overlap, which is going to happen very quickly amongst these 4 classes. So keep your eyes peeled. Our drivers are going to have to be watching out their windshield as well as their mirrors at the same time. Lincoln Fox was the driver that was in that previous race. He ended up the race, and finished the race, sorry, with no front bumper, just to kind of give you an idea of how his race went for him. So no doubt he'll be trying to do a little better here in the second split of the week as the week changes over to TSKUBA. You can see no rain falling again right now. We had a couple raindrops early on, but right now no rain on the track. Let's see if we can pop up the weather here and have a look at what the conditions are right now. So showing no 0% chance of rain, so maybe our drivers get lucky. Look, actually looks kind of sunny up there. We got a couple drops of rain when we came on board with Blake Bottoms, but looks like it's kind of dissipated right now. 93-degree track temp, so relatively tame as far as summer track temps go. 79-degree air temp shouldn't affect our drivers all that much. The big issue is going to be navigating through the lap traffic out here. That's going to be the big one. But Lincoln Fox right now currently sitting up top of the Mazda qualifying standings, so on his way right now to improve on how he finished last race. I mentioned he finished with no bumper. He had fallen all the way back to the tail end of the Mazda field. It managed to end up finishing second in that race, so all said and done, it actually worked out pretty well for him. Gabriel Anselmi, one of our only, actually I believe he is our only Clio in the race. There you can see the rain coming down at the far end of the track as he heads around the final corner and across the start-finish line there now. So rain's starting to come in quickly. The clouds are coming in. Rain, it looks like sun and clouds on one end of the track and rain on the other. So it'll be interesting to see where our drivers are when the rain comes out, if they choose to go with the wet tires or the rain tires. As you see, Nicholas D'Souza currently sitting in 8th place in the BMW side of things. Looks like he's going to try and get around to get one more lap done. You see a bit of spray starting to kick up on the back of D'Souza's car. Oh, he's heading into turn 9. So he was going to barrel off into the end. So still a little bit of grip there, but it's going to start to diminish very quickly. Welcome into the chat, David Connell. Do a flip. There might be some drivers doing a flip here. Dave, if you hang on a little bit. Welcome in X-Wolf 2 as well. Yeah, no doubt PCC and Scuba should be a very interesting mix here. Tight confines, and it's like we just have Nicholas D'Souza as our final car on track. Everybody else has set their qualifying time right now. So last check, looks like we got 41 cars entered into the server for this one. As I mentioned, 245 signups for this session, this split here on the second split of the week. Or sorry, I should say the second session of the new week, as it clicked over earlier on. Rain starting to come down a little heavier there as we watch D'Souza head out of turn 8. So it's definitely going to want to be a probably a wet tire start for all our drivers. There's probably going to be a couple drivers that are going to push the envelope and try on the dry tires. We'll see how it goes. Welcome in, Matt Burgess. Best of luck to you. If I remember correctly, the last week's SOF race didn't go that great for you, so hoping for better turn of events. Oh, we see D'Souza getting loose out of the final corner there across the start-finish line. That's one thing with the rain. You want to stay off the red and white curbs, as there's no grip up there. Jack Williams just kind of having a little break on the back straight there. 10 seconds to go. We'll end up qualifying. We'll have a look at how our grid's going to stack up here for this 25-minute race. So as I mentioned, only the one, actually, sorry, looks, I was wrong. We got 3 Clios in the session. Only had the one Clio that actually put in a time, so it'll be interesting to see how they sort out. But there we go. Timing and scoring is going to click over. We'll take a look at the grid here. Hey, first up, look at the BMWs. Kevin Parrish going to take top spot over Michael Yashinas. We'll go with that. Daniel Hindre in 3rd. Blake Bottoms in 4th. Taylor Blount and Brandon Lynn going to make up 5th and 6th. Rod Eskew in 7th. Nicholas D'Souza in 8th. Joshua Rolfe in 9th. Adam Wallard in 10th. And rounding out the BMW field is going to be Lucas Cruz. And we'll take a look back here at the Clios. We got the 3 Clios. Gabriel Anselmi going to lead the way over Jorge Tripeca. Fernando Luzada going to start in 3rd. Into the GR86, Andres Azza going to start on pole. Jonier Cornelius to his outside. Austin Quinn in 3rd, and Evan Crooks going to take up 4th spot. Ricardo Lovera in 5th, and Martin Rivera in 6th. 7th place going to go to Wesley Cottonor. Oscar Martini in 8th. Ricardo Tan in 9th. Kevin Visual in 10th. Jack Williams in 11th. Matej Nozica in 12th. Jose Plume de Senior. Oh, I apologize, Jose. I'm sure I butchered that. He's starting 13th. Andre Nazi in 14th. The Argentinian driver in the Mazdas. Lincoln Fox taking pole with Mario Alfredo to his outside. Michael Folds in 3rd. Nicholas Shepard going to start in 4th. Tom Sanders in 5th. Matt Burgess, who was in chat, going to start in 6th. Andre Navarro in 7th. Mateus Del Canto in 8th. Kevin Kramer in 9th. Sean Thompson going to start 10th. Brendan Lichtenberg in 11th. Terry Nightingale Jr. in 12th. And rounding out the field, Jason M. White, the 13th car in the Mazda grid. So there we go, 41 cars in the session. It's going to be interesting. See our drivers gridding up. Kevin Parrish, Michael Yanis. I'm going to say Yanis. That's what I'm going with until I've been told otherwise. But short pace lap, we're starting on the back straight in between turn 8 and turn 9. So there we go, Porsche pace car pulling away. Now, normally our classes of cars leave a little bit of a gap between the 4 classes, but unfortunately out here with TSKUBA being such a short track, 2 miles, or 32 kilometers in length, 1.2 miles, it doesn't leave a whole lot of room for our drivers to leave much space, but we are green. We're going to get underway. Kevin Parrish, Michael Yesh is going to lead them into turn 1. Oh, you can see it's getting a little slippery out there. Drivers having to account for that into turn 1. Parrish going to hold on to his top spot, but it is bottlenecking in behind him. Spot back, take a look at our Clios. Looks like Gabriel and Salmi going to hold on top spot. Oh no, we got the BMWs are wrecking into turn 4. That's going to bottleneck them up into the Clios. Oh no! Hendry going to go off again. That's going to be pretty much the end of his race. Another driver off into the wall. That's one of our GR drivers. Oh, another one. We've got carnage everywhere out here. Now the Mazda's going to try and make their way through that. It looks like Taylor Blount off on the right-hand side. That blue BMW off on the side. Currently on board here with Michael Folds, our 3rd place Mazda driver. He's got 2nd place Nicholas Shepard just up ahead of him. They're trying to get through the GR86 field, so we always see a lot of intermingling amongst the 2 classes here between the Mazdas and the GR86s, and we're seeing it already early on. As we even have a Clio. Looks like one of the Clios coming in, gets some service at Fernando Lozado. He's going to come in for service too as well. Let's take a look back up front. Blake Bottoms, driver we hopped on board with coming into this session, already got himself out front, taking advantage of the misfortunes of Kevin Parrish and Taylor Blount. Blount, a driver we saw really pushing Parrish last week at, where were we last week? Portimao. So we've got drivers wrecking and bumping here again. Battle for 3rd, 4th in BMW, getting a little argy-bargy here as we're on board with D'Souza, trying to find a way around Rod Eskew. Let's go back to the Mazdas here. Lincoln Fox, our pole sitter in Mazda's, got himself out front. Currently 1.7 seconds now over Nicholas Shepard, the 2nd place Mazda. Shepard trying to make his way in through the GR86s. He has Oscar Martini and Wesley Cotnor in the Mazda's just up ahead of him. Folds with Tom Sanders looking around the outside. Sanders going to try and make a run down the back straight, but unfortunately he has that GR86 of Cotnor kind of holding him back, but utilizing the draft too as well. It looks like Folds going to get across over in front of Shepard to hold on to that spot. Sanders going to drop back into 4th place. Spot back here to see how Matt Burgess is doing. Saw him in chat early on. Down 4 spots in class, but up 7 spots overall. Just kind of shows you the misfortune that a number of drivers have had here. We'll see if we can try and catch some of the incidents from early on once things settle down, if things settle down. Oh, sorry. Looks like Burgess had to back out of something there. Got a little bit of damage on the front end of his car. So we got a number of cars on the side, a BMW, a GR86 parked on the side. Looked like Taylor Blount possibly around. No, sorry, Blount is still on track. That might have been Brandon Lynn. He's getting himself back on track, losing that front bumper though. Right front suspension is inoperable on that car. Up front, Kevin Parrish found his way back around Blake Bottoms to lead this one. It's going to drop Bottoms back down to 2nd place. Gabriel and Salmi in the Clio, actually not too far back of the BMW leaders. Looks like Clio works well in the... Oh no! I believe that was Adam Wallen. No, it was not Adam Wallen. One of the BMWs getting heavy into the wall out there. It's hard to keep track of what's going on. There's so many cars wrecking left and right around here. It's hard to keep track of what's going on. But let's go back to the battle for third place in the Mazdas, as Michael Folds has got a couple of cars in between he and Nicholas Shepard now. Shepard's still trying to find a way around Wesley Cotton or that black GR86. He's going to move to the inside, and let's see if he can get around the BMW of Michael Yashis up ahead. Yashis started second place overall. Fortunately for him, he's fallen way back. Looks like he's struggling right now after a strong qualifying. Not sure if he has any damage on the car, but it looks like it's ill handling at this point in time. Let's see if Shepard can get around him and try and chase back down Michael Folds up ahead. Our GR86 leader, Andre Azza, running comfortably up front. The Bluey Renault in behind him, missing the front bumper, but Andre Azza now holding a comfortable 1.4 seconds over to second place, Ricardo Lovera. See Lovera looking in the inside of Alan Boilard, that red BMW on the outside. The GR86s looks like they're fairly competent in the rain here compared to the BMWs, able to attack the corners a little harder and deeper under the brakes than the BMWs are. And I mentioned that Lincoln Fox, our top Mazda driver, starting to make his way through the GR86s too as well. And he'll have to deal with that slower BMW of Boilard up ahead. A little bit of a cork in the bottom now, holding up this battle between Andre Azza and Ricardo Lovera. Lovera trying to stay ahead of Oscar Martini. Martini going to make it around Michael Folds. He's going to drop Folds back. That Cheeto machine of Oscar Martini to his outside, the GR86s. Here's some bumping and bang going on up ahead. Lincoln Fox, top Mazda driver, tries to go around the outside of, I believe that was Michael Yakinis on the outside. Looks like he's going to make it stick. Sound like onto the mic was Lincoln Fox. Not happy with being forced out wide, but he's able to hold on to it. Let's go back up top, check on the BMW here. Rod SQ got himself around Blake Bottoms, early second place. Bottoms holding on to third. D'Souza not too far back, so second, third, fourth still fairly tight at the front of the BMW field here. You see D'Souza give Bottoms a little bit of a bump on the rear end. Bottoms had to basically park it on the middle of that apex, try and get the car slowed up and turn around. Fortunately for D'Souza, didn't lose any position or any time there. So a little farther back in the field here, on board with Sean Thompson. He's trying to chase down Matias Del Campo. Del Campo missing the front bumper, so he's been involved in a little bit of carnage. It's a battle for 7th place. They've got BMW of Taylor Blount up ahead. We've seen Blount parked on the side of the road a couple times here. Not the race he wanted, definitely this week at TSKUBA. Starting to have another BMW off in the grass there. I believe that might have been Joshua Rolfe. So the rest of the field making their way around. I'm starting to wonder if the rain, maybe just that little bit of rain that was on the track, caused just enough slickness for our drivers really having to struggle with the conditions. Where the race I saw earlier, where it was full on rain, everybody kind of was a little more cautious. There was some carnage, but a little more cautious, I'll say, having to deal with the heavier rain. But bumping and banging going on out there. You're hearing cars getting into each other every which way. It sounded like somebody just blew the engine in the pits as we went by. Oh no, the Cookie Monster car just came across. Cleared out our driver. Oh no, Tom Sanders, the Box 5 MX5. That's going to be race-ending damage for Tom Sanders. See if we can try and catch a replay of what happened to him here. That's a heavy hit for Sanders. Let's see what happened to him. Oh no, it's Cookie Monster. That was actually Sanders, the Cookie Monster machine that came across. Got into, I think that might have been Brandon Lichtenberg. Possibly that got the brunt of that. Yeah, that was, I don't know, Lichtenberg got by. Unfortunately, I'm not sure which car that was ahead, but unfortunately that's going to be a race ending for those two drivers. Let's go back to the battle for second place. Rod SQ, Blake Bottoms, Nicholas D'Souza battling it out. SQ in the orange and white. BMW currently holding down second place. Bottoms in third. The meat and the sandwich here. D'Souza in fourth. The multicolored white, pink, green, and black BMW right at the back of this pack. At least this battle's kind of settled down here for a little bit. So we go on board here with Bottoms. Take a look at the conditions. Only a little bit of spray coming off the back of SQ's car up ahead, so it looks like the track drying out fairly quick. Again, we didn't get a whole lot of rain, so the track couldn't be overly saturated, so I'm not surprised to see it drying out very quick. Now it's going to be a matter of whether our drivers overheat their tires, pushing to try and make places up. As we see the Bottoms trying to find a way around the outside of SQ. They got the lap traffic of Martin Rivera up ahead, the Marlboro paint schemed GR86. Looks like Bottom's going to go to the right side. That's going to give him the inside into the next corner of the 7-8 complex. He's going to take that position away, move himself back up into second place, and he's going to promptly put that GR86 in between he and SQ. A little bit of a bump there on the rear quarter of that GR86 is going to move him out a little bit, but that's going to move him into third spot. We got a battle now in Mazda. Michael Foltz making his way around Lincoln Fox. So Fox, our pole sitter, who's led the race for the first 10 minutes in the Mazda class, showing a little bit of damage on the front end. Foltz showing some damage too as well. These two are going to battle into turn 10, the long right-hand sweeper. Now we'll see if Foltz is able to... Oh no, we got a parked Mazda or GR86 in the middle of the field. Oh, Lincoln Fox makes the right choice. You see him kind of debating there whether he's going to go right or left around that GR86. Made the right choice to go right. And it looks like actually made up a little bit of time on Michael Foltz, as Foltz had to back out of the throttle a little bit, not quite knowing where that GR86 was going to go. So now let's see if Lincoln Fox can try and find his way back around here. Try and put some pressure on Michael Foltz. Underneath the Dunlop tire bridge they go. Working their way into turn 7-8. That GR86 might come into play here. The Mazda's a little quicker in a straight line. But generally, the GR86s have that advantage in the corners with that little bit of extra aero that they have. A little bit more compliant suspension. See Michael Foltz moving to the outside. We'll see if Fox can move around too as well. Looks like I think Fox can be stuck in behind the GR86. He can try and dive up the inside. Unfortunately, he's not going to get that overlap to make that pass complete. Michael Foltz is going to be able to pull away a little bit. Let's go a little further back in the field here. Matt Burgess still showing some damage on the front end. Try and chase down Terry Nightingale Jr. Nightingale Jr. up 7 spots. Didn't qualify. Started at the back of the Mazda field and just kind of slowly picking his way through the field here right now. So nice run by Nightingale. As next up on his list, he's got Andre Navarro. On Navarro about 3.8 seconds up the track, so we'll see if he's able to reel him in. Let's take a look and see. Let's go back to this battle here for second place in BMW. Blake Bottoms been able to open up a bit of a gap over SQ once he got ahead. That gap now 3.2 seconds. Fortunately for him, all that battling allowed Kevin Parrish to get way out in front. Our pole sitter holding an 8-second lead over second place, Blake Bottoms. Now the battle is for third and fourth. Rod SQ currently holding down that position. Nicholas D'Souza would love to try and take that position away from him. They got the GR86 of Ricardo Tahan up ahead. See if he plays a factor in this battle at all. Looks like SQ had to back out of the throttle a little bit. Got a little squirrely exiting out of turn 4. That's going to allow Souza to get a nice run through here. We'll see if he ducks up on the inside of turn 7. They go through here into turn 8. Oh, thought about diving down the inside. The rain's starting to fall again as we're at the just past the halfway mark. So if the rain continues, that could play a interesting feature into the race here. So the wiper's starting to kick on for our drivers, no doubt getting a little bit of spray. Let's go back to the Mazda battle. Lincoln Fox closing that gap back up on Michael Foltz. See if Fox has anything to offer here as they head into turn 9. The long sweeping right-hander. Oh, we got a GR86 on back. Where's he going? No, Lincoln Fox. Oh, man. He didn't guess the right way this time, unfortunately. Got caught up in that one. He's not going to be happy about that. That is going to allow Nicholas Shepard up top as both Fox and Folds involved in that one, as Michael Folds still off track. Left rear not functioning on that car. Nicholas Shepard going to take top spot, the box 5, MX5. Back up top, trying to bring this one home for box 5 after Tom Sanders, unfortunately, involved in that incident early on. Let's see if we can take another look here at what happened there. Fortunate incident for our top 2 drivers in the Mazda class. Let's see here. Folds coming around through the outside. The 28. Oh, man, unfortunate. Austin Quinn, I'm not sure. Obviously, he didn't mean to do that, but let's see what actually happened to him. SpongeBob SquarePants GR86 already missing his rear wing, so something happened there. No downforce heading into turn 9. Looks like he doesn't. I'm gonna say it looks like he doesn't actually hold his brakes. Unfortunate there. Took out the lead battle in Mazda class, but looks like Lincoln Fox able to keep going. Still in second place. Oh, that car probably ill handling, no doubt. Let's see, we got a battle. Oh, yeah, BMW of that was Michael Yashis. A little bit of a argy-bargy there on the inside of Lincoln Fox. Let's go a little farther back here. Matt Burgess, Brendan Lichtenberg, and that's Michael Folds now. We got the car back on track. Look at that left rear, wasn't spinning for him. We last saw him sitting off on the side of the grass. Maybe the car was just propped up on some dirt out there, but looks like Folds got the car going again here. All Folds is, oh, he had to come in. He was able to get in, get his quick repair, and get back out. Interesting. So he's currently sitting in 11th in class, but he's got himself right in the middle of this battle for 4th place in class. Terry Nightingale currently leading around this pack. Nightingale in the Turbo Brothers paint scheme car here. He's got Matt Burgess, Brendan Lichtenberg in behind him. Actually, Michael Folds going to try and make a move around the outside. That's a lap car, though. It's not for position, so we'll see if Nightingale just lets him go. Oh, they're going to bump and bang. Nightingale, no doubt, not going to be overly happy about that. Lap car getting tangled up with him. He actually just came on the radio and reminded Folds that he's a lap down. So there we go. We know Nightingale not too happy with that maneuver, but this battle going to continue on. Brendan Lichtenberg might be in the best seat right now, sitting at the tail end of this 4-car pack. Could be opportunistic if something were to happen up ahead of him. We haven't spoken much about Andre Azza, our pole sitter in the GR86 class. Held that spot since this drop of the green flag. He's got top aspirations here, as he's right now behind the Clio leader, Gabriel and Salmi, just ahead of him. Those two top in their class from the drop of the green. They've been able to hold on to that spot. Ricardo Lovera right now, the 2nd place GR86. He's got Evan Crooks just under a 2nd behind him. They've got Michael Yashis, that this green-colored BMW in between them right now. So see if Crooks is able to utilize the draft off that BMW to try and close in here on the leader up ahead, or 2nd place car up ahead. Comes our top Mazda driver in behind there, Nicholas Shepard. Currently enjoying a 6-second gap over Andre Navarro. Navarro, a perennial driver, shows up in the SOF races every week. We usually see him battling up towards the front. He's managed to keep the car clean right now. A little bit of damage on the front end, but there's not really many cars that don't have damage on the front end at some point in time right now in this race. Kevin Parrish still leading the way from the drop of the green. Oh, Blake Bottoms is caught up to the back of Parrish. So I'm not sure what happened to Parrish. Last we checked, he had an 8-second gap over Blake Bottoms. So We've got a battle now for top spot. We saw Parrish leading last week at Portugal at Portimao. Last lap, lost it into turn, I think it was turn 3, I believe. Lost it, got tangled up with Taylor Ballant. Two of them had to try and nurse the cars back home. That gave Tejada and Pierre Richards, I believe, were the two drivers that got promoted up into 1 and 2. We'll see Blake Bottom's going to make the move around Parrish, get himself up to top spot, first overall. See if he can hold it on around the outside. Parrish trying to fight back. Go on board here with Parrish. See the rain still falling down, so our drivers who have enjoyed the first half of the race, relatively uneventful as far as the weather. Weather kicked in about halfway through, the rain falling down. Doesn't look like the spray's picking up really all that much on the cars, so should have very similar grip levels to what they've had all throughout the race at this point in time. But I think Parrish falling back off the back bumper of Bottoms. I don't see anything here recently what happened to Parrish that's cost him all that time to Blake Bottoms, to allow Bottoms to get around it. So fortunately for him, but Blake Bottoms isn't going to complain about taking that spot. So back to our Mazda driver, Nicholas Shepard, still holding a nice 6-second gap over second place Andre Navarro. Asa leading the way in GR86, and Selmy top spot in Clio class, unchanged there. Second place battle in GR86, Lovera now walking away from Martini, opening that gap up. What's the Cottonor a little farther back as he's currently holding down 4th place. We saw him kind of wrapped up with Michael Folds and Lincoln Fox earlier when they were trying to make their way around. So back to this battle for 4th in class. Nightingale Jr. still holding down that position. Burgess and Lichtenberg trying to find their way around. This is actually our closest battle on track right now in class. We had a couple of multi-class battles, but they don't really mean a whole lot. It's like Burgess getting a better run out of that corner. Nightingale had to wait a second before he got back to the throttle. Going to go a little wider. That's going to allow Burgess to look up the inside. Nightingale able to get, up on the curb, has to collect the car up. I was going to say Nightingale able to get back into the throttle a little quicker than Burgess running on the outside, but up on that curb, you saw what happens when you're up on the red and white curbs and they're a little wet. You don't have a whole lot of grip out there. Nightingale having to go defensive, trying to block off the inside corner, parks in the middle of the apex, forces Burgess to back out of it. See what kind of run Burgess gets here down the back straight, if he can make a run into turn 9 to get around Terry Nightingale Jr. Looks like Burgess not going to try and dive up the inside here now, but Lincoln Fox not too far ahead of them now. Fox trying to nurse back home that wounded MX-5. They're starting to reel him in quickly here into turn 1. We're going to have a 4-way battle for 3rd spot. Final stop on the point. Burgess having to collect the car up, power drifting it through turn 1. That's going to put Lichtenberg right on his back bumper. Lichtenberg trying to look up the inside. Now he goes to the outside, try and do the same thing that Terry Nightingale did earlier. Go out wide, get back into the throttle a little earlier. Didn't look like it worked out that well for Lichtenberg this time, though. Lost a little bit of time to Matt Burgess and Terry Nightingale Jr. But Lincoln Fox, no doubt, not loving what he's seeing coming in his rearview mirrors there. So we're down to about 2 minutes, 15 seconds or so. So we're going to have possibly 1-2 more laps, depending on when our leader, Blake Bottoms, crosses the line. So Bottoms heading down the back straight here now. So we should have about 2 more laps to go, as he is actually just behind that battle we were just focusing on. He's going to get himself right embroiled in it here now. He's moving his way around Lichtenberg. Not really forcing it. He's got a nice 5-second gap over Kevin Parrish now, so no doubt Parrish found some damage somewhere. There we go. Oh, no. Bottoms gets around Lichtenberg, but then he tangles with Matt Burgess heading into turn 1. Burgess having the inside line here. We'll see if Lichtenberg can dive up the outside. He tried it last time, didn't work out for him. See if he can do it this time. Again, tries to late apex the corner, get back into the throttle a little earlier. Keeps a closer gap this time on Burgess. Burgess tries to cut the corner, trying to make take the shortest route he possibly can here. While they battle, that's allowed Terry Nightingale to pull away. Nightingale now hot on the tail of Lincoln Fox. As Fox has our leader, Blake Bottoms, making his way through. So Bottoms come around. He's going to start the final lap here, this time by. So this will be it. This will be our final opportunity for our drivers to make a move. Terry Nightingale right on the back bumper now of Lincoln Fox. Fox pretty much a sitting duck. That wounded Mazda definitely hurting. You see that damage on the right front corner. No doubt he's got a little bit of suspension and steering issues here. Looks like that right front definitely angled in. Tries to hold it tight, but unfortunately the car just bleeds out wide with that little bit of damage. Nightingale Jr. going to get by. Burgess now going to be itching to move around Fox. Fox had to collect that car up now. So see if he's able to move it, but Andre Azza, our Mazda GRA6 driver, heading to the line. Pole sitter from the very start in that class. Cross the line, he's going to start his last lap. Gabriel Anselmi cross the line to start his last lap too as well. Blake Bottoms cross the line here in short order. He's going to take top spot. So back to this battle. Looks like Nightingale going to take that over there. Fox going to hold off the charge from Burgess and Lichtenberg. So we got a number of drivers on track to head to the line. Just wait for a few more drivers on the GR86 side of things. Az is still leading the way. Lavera closed that gap quite a bit the last lap or so on Andres Azza. Looks like he's actually closing it even more on the back straight. So Azza, who enjoyed a comfortable 3 to 4 second gap for the majority of the race, so he's going to have to nurse it home for the win here. Going to take top spot, pole to pole for Andre Azza. Well done. Lavera going to come home in third place. Oscar Martini holds on to his third place qualifying position, the top 3 in GRA6 finish where they qualified. Andre Navarro going to head across the line. Nice run for him. He's going to come home in second place. I believe that is it. That's our final driver. So let's take a look at the final results here. What a hectic race. What a hectic race. Blake Bottoms taking top spot over Kevin Parrish. Nicholas D'Souza in third. Adam Wallard in fourth. Taylor Blount rounding out the top 5 in the BMWs. Andre Azza takes top spot from pole to pole win. Ricardo Lavera in second. Oscar Martini in third. Cottonor fourth. And Jonier Cornelis in 5th place for the GR86's. Top spot in Clio goes to Gabriel Anselmi. Jorge Trapeca in third, and Fernando Lozado unfortunately didn't see the checker flag in the Clio class. In the Mazdas, Nicholas Shepard taking top spot over Andre Navarro. Terry Nightingale Jr. in third, Lincoln Fox in fourth, Matt Burgess comes home in 5th, Brendan Lichtenberg in 6th, and Sean Thompson rounding out 7th place in the Mazdas, 20th overall. And then we see the remainder of the field here. So quick click through them. See where your favorite driver finished up. Number of drivers out early on from instance, and no doubt it's a hectic race out there. You have this small track where you can see the track there, what kind of conditions you're featuring in the rain. Multiclass racing, but hats off to our drivers that made it through. 40 some odd cars on track. A little track like this, no doubt there's going to be some carnage. So tune in next week. I believe next week we head to a Roval that doesn't get used a whole lot. I believe it is the what is it, Auto Club Roval on the inside of the the now torn down, or pretty much torn down, Auto Club Speedway out in California. It's got a Roval on the inside, so it'll be interesting to see how our drivers do there. Multiclass racing next week, so tune in, same time, same place. This is Rob Campbell from Racer Nexus, and we'll catch you then. Bye for now.